This is Freeloaders. I'm 3T.
And I'm MikePapaFoxtrot.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download, bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at Trackmania Turbo, originally released on the PS4, Xbox One and PC back in March 2016. It currently retails for €25. The game has 200 different tracks across 4 different locations, namely Roller Coaster Lagoon, International Stadium, Canyon Grand Drift and Valley Down and Dirty. Various game modes including a campaign and a mode called Double Driver, which is a cooperative multiplayer mode in which 2 players are controlling the same car. And these are our first impressions.
And with that in mind, as I've been champing at the bit for a 2-player game, shall we press X, skip any potential building and customization we have to do, and get to some racing?
I like it. And also, I'm looking forward to trying that double trouble or double driver. I have pushed X, or I can't insert a coin, so I've pushed X.
I will do the same, and we'll see you in a second.
Right, I am now at a menu. What do you
So I've got
What's
Track
your fancy?
Builder, online
racing?
racing. I guess multiplayer? No, that would be on the same screen, wouldn't it? Let's go into online and see if we can... join a friend. There we go. Online racing, join a friend.
All right. Is you joining me or is I joining you?
Well, I'll try and join you. Create your account now. Ugh, all right then.
So that was a second for you, but a little bit longer for us and slightly more involved for one of us. Would you not say, 3T?
I have no idea when I apparently created an Ubisoft account, but it's lost to history, and now I have 2. So, let's see if we can join each other.
Maybe you need a 3T1 as well.
Oh, I now have 2.
So you have a 2. Do you have a 2T1?
2T3Ts.
Right, so now we've got to try and work out the faff of joining each other. So, I've got Room Browser and Join a Friend. So one of us probably has to be...
In a room.
And the other one has to join it. So which one of us is going to go? You started the program.
Okay.
You find a room.
I will find us a room and hope that I don't get sucked into a game with lots of people we don't know.
You will have to excuse me, listeners and viewers, but I am enjoying the frustration of 3T.
Okay, I am selecting a room with 0 players in. Come find me.
Right. I am working out how to refresh. You have no friends.
Oh, right. I might have to press join.
In online rooms.
Let's try that. Joining. Oh. Okay, I now have a loading screen. See if you can join me now.
Oh, I am. I'm hitting refresh. I'm just hitting bang in refresh. And then we'll try this the other way around if this doesn't work, because maybe you're not 3T anymore. Maybe you are 2T or something else.
It says...
And you're not in my friends list.
Oh, lots of people have joined the room. So, I'm just driving. No idea what's happening.
Well... here we go. I found you now.
I've just come off the edge. What an excellent display of awesome driving
skills. Joining you. Here we go. That's nice.
Well, I'm not the only one who fell off, because this guy here has also fallen off. This just seems to be a sort of free drive around all over the place. I wanted a race.
I have no idea what the controls are. Yeah, but we'll refine that. I mean, I think that's probably the campaign is probably the racing. The online is... Wow, that's an amazing looking race, isn't it?
Well, I have to say I'm most intrigued by the double driver option. I think 2 of us in the same vehicle is going to be a lot more interesting. Okay.
I tell you what, it's very intuitive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's GTA controls by the feel of it.
It's got also tabletop racing controls as well.
Oh,
it's got basically... Whoa, these are horrible tracks, aren't they, in a brilliant way? Oh, I like this.
I can't get back on it. I've got to find an entry ramp.
Is there not a sort of a hold a button to get back on? Wait! To get back on the...
Oh, I never even thought about it.
Oh, I've just crossed the finishing line.
Oh yeah, triangle.
Whatever that means.
Triangle gets you back at the start.
Apparently I came fourth.
Okay, I came off again because I suck.
Interesting, because triangle is what is actually also used in the Grand Theft Auto racing. So obviously that must be a standard. Hey, I can see you. I'm behind you, 3E.
Is there
I'm behind you.
any kind of boost that will stop me from falling off? Because I'm about to fall off again.
Oh, I'm behind you. I'm behind you.
I haven't got a horn. I'm instinctively, honking my horn.
Oh, I've just watched you fell off. I'm over the top of you.
So R2 is accelerate. L2 is... Oh, it's over. L2 is reverse.
I don't quite understand. I guess maybe this is a little bit like... It's a little bit like Battlefield.
Yes.
In the sort of the matching thing where you kind of have to join while the match is playing, which I'm not liking, have to say. Not liking that. But hey, you know, once we get going, it's fine.
I just want a head-to-head mode.
That would be the way it is.
Does that exist, do you think?
Don't know. I mean, I did notice when I looked at while you were sort of enjoying the faff of Ubisoft, I did in... now it's telling me the controls. Well, this is a little bit too late. I've already been racing.
Yes. A little bit cart after the horse.
Yeah.
Or before the horse, probably. I got that the wrong way around.
Steering. So that's the steering. Mirror. Oh, they're mirrors. So back, D-pad down is mirror back. I don't think you'd ever need to look behind you, would you? Brake is...
Oh, excellent news.
So
I've just had an email from Ubisoft. Welcome to Ubisoft.
I've turned my phone off.
So I'm being dropped from a great height. And
yep, I'm being dropped as well. Yep, and everyone is in ghost mode, so I'm guessing it'll take us a few seconds to become real
I've gone
people.
into first person and I don't like it.
That's because you needed to do that for the loop. I like that. I prefer that than the way that some games. My engine is off. Why is my engine off?
Caution. It's not just you, but I'm stuck.
These are very short races.
Yeah, I can't go anywhere. I'm facing the wrong way, and
that's all right. I've got a title card up, so you know. Oh, I pushed X to go again.
I'm just going to press triangle.
Yeah, interesting. It's not what I expected. I have to say, I love the graphics. Considering this is a couple of years old, graphics are beautiful.
I mean, it's essentially as given away by the intro insert coin screen. It is very much an arcade racer.
Oh yeah.
This is a short track.
It reminds me.
Sorry.
Yeah. Again, my engine's off, and I have finished the race. I came 14th.
Sorry, you were about to say it reminds you of something like that.
Yeah, no, it reminds me a little bit of Colin McRae Rally, which I remember playing many years ago on an arcade machine on a cruise ship between Finland and Sweden, because there was nothing else to do on board.
Right. I suggest that we try and find either another room or another game mode. What do you think? This is
yes, I think that might be the fun. But it is. Yeah, quite interesting. I mean, basically, I'm just playing this level. I've just decided to play this level pretty much like a pinball wizard. You just literally bounce off the edges. It's the only way to go around. 16th, though. I'm getting worse, not better.
Yeah, no, I am too.
Right, so how do we get out of the room? That's the question.
I'm going to try circle in a second. I'm just going to finish this last... I mean, yeah, I'm just bouncing off things, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to... I've got bang into you.
Profile,
14th.
which is not a good idea.
Can I back out? Don't seem to be able to. I'm going to just hit start and, or options, sorry. Quit. That's more like it.
Oh, there you go. That's fine.
So
quit.
Now back. So I'm going to go back into the room browser and see if I can specify the type of room. Okay, so I've set
So
up what,
basically, you've set up a room then, have you
what, I,
finally?
what I believe is a private password-protected room. It does say
Right,
offline.
yes.
So see if you can. I guess, I wonder if I can join this room or make this room happen.
Well, I currently have no friends are playing in online rooms, so I'm hitting refresh periodically.
Minimum echelon. Warning, rooms created with a minimum echelon greater than 5 comply with moderation rules. Your room's minimum echelon is granted subject to these... Okay, I don't really know what it's on about. If I save and quit, you cannot save a room with an empty track list. Okay, well, how do I make a track list?
Oh, this is nice.
I get you.
We thought we'd solved all these problems and started recording again, and then it discovers that it's not. This is actually quite interesting.
Fine.
We're just learning how it works, which is what First Impressions is all about.
I'm just going to add a couple of tracks, and you can then just... It doesn't really matter. I mean, 4's plenty.
Well, and then once we've played those 4, then what we'll do is we'll look at this double driving thing, which sounds crazy.
All right, so see if I save and quit this, and now I'm... Oh, I got an earned a trophy. Feels like home. That's for creating a room. So I'm joining that room.
In this game, you get the first trophy. Great. Okay, well, I'm banging refresh, so let's see what happens.
I am joining my room now. I have to enter my password, so you may want to blur this, although it is 12345. Probably.
No, I don't. I think by the time anyone sees this, I doubt this room will be active, so we won't blur anything.
Exactly.
And good luck to anyone who wants to come and play.
Come and play. I'm quite happy if you want to. Oh, it's taken a long time to load this up. I suppose I did put 4 tracks in there, so...
Well, I'm periodically hitting refresh, and I still have no friends playing in online rooms. So,
well, this should be
my visuals are stunning right now.
this should be entirely private. It's just taking a little while to load this up. So,
yeah, which makes sense, I suppose.
We'll see what happens. What I don't want it to do is start me off racing without having an opponent, because that would be pointless.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe that's what you have to do. Maybe you have to put... I mean, this is learning the game. Maybe... I mean, a sort of a hack around that is that you put one track in that you don't care about, and then that's the track that you use for joining. But like I said, I mean, that is the problem I used to have with... I mean, that's one of the things that put me off Battlefield, was just trying to stay together and trying to join. It's I like a sort of a... I like there to be a definite start to an online game where you get together, a little rally point where you get together when everyone's happy, then you go.
Try joining me now.
And yep, there you go. I can now see you, and I'm coming.
It's telling me to
start.
start.
It wants a password.
Oh.
Why does it want a password?
Because it's a private room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Yep, done. I actually don't think the chat prioritized. I don't actually think the password shows up in the way the capturing system we're using works. But let's see if the dear listener can see the password or not.
Well, I'm waiting.
Which is funny,
so
because if you're listening, you probably can't see it. There we go. Oh, nice.
So we'll just have a little bit of a play around, and then we'll see what we can get away with.
Oh my good lord. Yeah.
Oops.
Quite nice graphics, though.
I was hoping
just pinballed that corner.
I was hoping for a quick turn, but my GTA instincts kicked in, and I got a scorecard instead.
Okay, I tried to power slide around the corner and failed.
Yep. Oh.
Whoa!
Is that
that's a jump.
I thought I'd made this lapse, but fine.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's I prefer longer races or multiple laps than just 1 or 2. But
if this was an arcade, I would want my pound back. For a race that short,
Yes.
I think that would be
But
fair.
then this might be a continuing. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, well.
That's the way it is. So, apparently I reached second place. I am 9,000 something or something from something.
I'm just going to skip rating
Didn't
this
get
track.
to read it. There we go. Yeah, this time I'm going to try and have you. Oh. Your car is looking left. Oh, this is the podium.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
It must be the podium. Yeah, because it's now showing me the controls again.
I have a loading screen where a car is stuck in a palm tree, and the pro tip is learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, wobbly road.
I had a... Whoa, this is... yeah, I wish I was behind. Well, I think I came off the accelerator then, and you shot past me. You found a some kind of power-up then, didn't you?
I seem to have hit a boost, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
also doing
just-
Frank Drebin turning, which is just hit something until the
Oh
car
yeah,
bounces off it.
I'm Frank Drebbing. I'm Frank Drebbining into the corner. I'm just
And we're probably showing our age there.
found
But,
power-up. Where did you find that power-up?
oh, I don't know, I just drove
Well,
over
that
it.
didn't-
It's in the middle of the road.
That didn't go well then.
I have just randomly chosen tracks, so
Ah.
maybe some of them are lap-worthy and some of them are not, I don't know.
I think that's part of the experimenting of the game, isn't it? To actually enjoy that. Yeah, it's quite nice. It actually drives quite nice, doesn't it?
The thing is, it doesn't feel like there's much skill involved because I can just bounce off a wall to turn. I don't feel like I need to. Oh, trophy earned. Brakes? Question mark. So
That said, the very first track that we jumped into, you did keep falling off the track.
Oh, I
so
did. That's true.
It must depend on the track that you pick. So.
That's true. Well, if you never use your brakes, you get a trophy.
Oh, okay.
If you just hold down the accelerator for a long time and don't take your finger off it.
That's kind of what I've almost been doing. I have been hitting the brake on the first lap or two, but I've kind of worked it out now. It's nice. I've worked out the grip of the car. This is a nice track. I quite like this. I mean, I didn't do any good, but I like it. Yeah.
Well,
It's quite nice.
we're just finding our feet. This is our first impressions, so.
Yeah, I think that's quite good. I love the way that I've got a finished flag. I feel like a rally. I feel like some kind of rally driving team with the sort of the Union flag and a finished flag underneath.
What I like is when we had to set up our games, I got asked, where are you from? Or where do you want your ranking to take place? United Kingdom, England, Southwest England, and you just got Finland.
Yeah.
There's no sort of regional specificity there.
No, one of the joys of living in a country with 5.2 million people, that is, 3 times bigger than the United Kingdom?
Well. Okay, well, should we
Right,
do
here we
one
go
more
again.
race in this one, or shall we just carry on?
Well, I mean, let's race till this is over. I mean, you said you put 4.
I put 4 tracks in, so we'll do the 4 tracks. You may or may not just get the
guessing we go
highlights, they
that
are
way?
short.
Whoa, God,
I like the jumps.
I don't know. I do. I quite like the power up. That's going to be a very tight corner.
Right.
I did hit the brake.
I now understand
I'm not
power
gonna get that
sliding.
trophy. Yep, I worked that out in the last one, but I'm still very much a coward when it comes to it.
And that was quick.
I finished first.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm
Well
just
done.
enjoying my first and only victory of the evening, probably.
Hey, look, I fell off the first track I ever played, so I think.
Yeah, I
you're
watched
ahead.
you fall off the third time, but yeah, it was quite short races. I guess when we sit down and work it out, we can get longer races.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently in Finland I am 9,640 out of 12,570 players. That was my time. So somewhere in the middle is my rank. If you do the maths, that's nowhere in the middle.
I guess.
So this is the last one then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you must be able to customize.
And then
it onto
we'll
your
see
car.
about that. We'll have a look at that dual.
Yeah, we'll try the double driver.
mad, that's-
or whatever it is.
That sounds mad. Are you going to do the setup for that, or are you going to torture me into doing it?
I think fair's fair. We'll let you try and set that one up.
Okay.
And we'll do that while we're not recording or while we're not showing everybody our efforts.
I think we'll come back to it once we've faffed it through, so to speak.
Oh, I like
is
this.
5 laps. Oh, there's me looking at the laps, and you just set off.
Oh, sorry. Quite like
that's all right.
environment.
I like the fact that it's not contact. I do like that. Part of me doesn't, and part of me does.
It means you can just concentrate on your car, nobody else.
I think you kind of have to. I mean, I do think that's a very... Well, what was that?
Oh.
Checkpoint? Oh, it's checkpoints, not laps.
Oh.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think non-contact means that it is... it's a lot friendlier as well. It doesn't... It's not going to breed the antisocial...
The lunatics.
Yes.
Yeah, the lunatics.
Yes. Okay, well, that's we both come first on 2 each, so I think that's fair enough. Shall we try and figure out double driver?
Let's work out how to get out of this. So what do we do? So let's enjoy the podium.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, friends, we'll be back momentarily. So we are trying to work out how to double drive. And
the only mention of it seems to be under campaign. So
yes. So you want me to try and host, and you try and join?
Yeah,
me?
if you can set something up, I'll stay back.
All right. So I'm going to go with double driver campaign.
Okay.
And then I'm at Canyon Drift, and then
I'll follow you.
I'm
Actually,
go
so I'll do that. So
number 01.
Canyon Grand Drift White Series. Start here. 01 is there. Okay.
And I'm now hanging from a helicopter.
Okay. Yep. Same.
I've got gold, silver, bronze, and drive alone. Well, I don't want to drive alone. I want to drive with someone.
All right,
I think personally, it's got to be a Henry Kelly. It's got to be a going for gold.
Going for gold.
So, yeah. Okay, so now I'm sitting, and it says slot 1 connected, and then
square.
2 players needed, and press square. So I'm going to push square, which says I'm ready.
Mine
so
says ready as well, but it says 2 players needed. Now,
okay,
I'm thinking this might not be an online mode.
Yes, that's sort of what it's looking at. Now, there is a way of testing that. And I guess that is getting another controller, but that might be a little bit more involved than we want to do today.
Okay.
So that might be something to test. I'm looking forward to racing with myself with 2 controllers over the next couple of days. That's very disappointing, I have to say. That was the bit I was looking forward to, the crazy racing with you.
Well, I'm going to quit out. I'm just going to have another quick look at the online mode and see if it says anything about double driver.
Same thing as well. I'm going to go all the way back to the menu. But this is all part of why we download the game and see what it does. Buddy challenges. Oh, interesting. Because we take the risks and see what you're doing. What's this multiplayer? We haven't looked at multiplayer yet. Now,
I think
that's got split screen.
That might be local.
I think that probably is local play, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But let's see if Track Builder Workshop random generator. Let's see, official campaign tracks. Grand Pack. Let's see. I've got the same race. I'm just. You're probably trying other things. Probably anyone trying to catch up with us is now watching.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a room to see if I've got any double driver options in a room, but I don't think it isn't. It's definitely not a game mode because I've got laps, time attack, stunt, rounds, stunt, laps, stunt, time attack, rounds, and back to laps.
Okay. Double driver, 2 teams.
Where did you find this?
I found that in the multiplayer.
Under what, arcade?
Would you like to try and join me? No, hot seat, I think it was.
Okay, let's see if I can.
Just to see if that. The problem now is we might only have one team, and that might mean we can't go forward. But they do enjoy dropping the cars from helicopters, don't they?
They do.
What I like is my car is hanging from a helicopter, hanging from a heavy lift helicopter in front of some race, the Christmas tree lights for the race, the race lights, the red, green, or whatever the hell it is, and that is very odd.
So
yeah, I can't do anything until somebody joins me, and I don't know if that's a local play or a.
Well, I'm going to try and see if my join a friend works, and it does not.
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a local play. I mean, it kind of makes sense, if I'm honest. It doesn't, but I'm trying to find a positive.
Okay. Right. So, on that, do you think we have enough experience to finish our first impressions here, or shall we finish on a quick online race? How do you want to finish this part?
I think a quick online race might be fun. I'm just powering out. I think we're going to have to sit down and look at this and maybe see if we can work out how to do it. We might be missing something really, really simple. It could be as much as that. Is it my room or your room? Who's creating the room?
I'm very quickly setting up a multi-lap race.
Right, that's fine then. I will go back to the stunning visuals that anyone watching my side of the stream is enjoying. The join a friend, no friends are playing, with the occasional refresh happening.
And I'm going for track number
overall
33.
Though, what are your what are your first impressions? I mean, I've sort of given you mine. I've alluded to it. I like the controls. I think the controls are right. Seems to be fairly intuitive, if not at the same time slightly confusing. Don't really like the fact that Ubisoft force you to have an account.
No, not a fan of
when
that.
You're playing on a console, and really your console ID should automatically be your account. And I think that should be how it is with the stuff. I mean, I shouldn't have to log in separately. I mean, I do with Rockstar. I log in with my user account for my PlayStation. I mean, I know everything is done on one account, but it's just more convenient. If it was just a PC, I would understand. Maybe then you might have a Steam account, or you might have a GOG account, or you might have something, and then you might have to have a separate Ubisoft account. And I remember, when I used to play with PC games, it used to be really irritating. You used to have separate accounts for everything, and so this is slightly irritating, I would think, the account setup, and the fact that we can't do the one thing that we really wanted to do, which was basically try and steer in opposite directions while racing a car.
Yeah. Well, come join me, and we'll have a quick race.
So, what about your first impressions then? I've sort of unloaded mine.
First impressions, it's looks very polished. It's the kind of thing you could imagine, feeding coins into at the arcade. It's I'm not hooked, but we will see. We will give it a fair shake. We'll have a good explore
my password's
of everything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 this time. I thought I'd
there you
shake
go.
it up a bit.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
I robotically typed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's nice. Well, I'm not going to go into any huge detail until we've given it more of a play. But
no, I think we do need to have a sit down and
off we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very polished. It's very slick. It's it's interesting that I don't think there's any force feedback. Are you getting anything?
No.
Engine
Maybe that's
off.
turned off. That's something that we'll have to look at maybe and see. Yeah, I've got an engine shut down. There's
those
red...
paddles turn your engine off. Those panels on the okay.
Yeah. Which is
I
quite
get it.
interesting. You have to avoid certain... You snuck up on me then.
Well,
Yeah.
and on that, I think we'll end it. We've got a good idea of how we feel about it after about half an hour, and let's go away, have a play, have a think, and come back with some final thoughts. So, after a week of exposure to Trackmania Turbo, MikePapaFoxtrot, what did you make of this game?
Well, 3T or 3T1T or whatever your username is these days. Basically, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I loved it in the moment. There was some frustration with the setup, which I think clearly shows, creating Ubisoft accounts. Like one of us had an easy ride, one of us didn't. But I enjoyed the fun. I enjoyed the actual the graphics. I love being dropped from a helicopter. Overall, I don't think you can complain. And you?
Yeah, very playable. Very much an arcade racer. It's not pretending to be anything else. It looks very slick. It's very polished. It is playable. I would say it has not compelled me to replay it very much. I've had a quick go while we've been catching up, setting up before recording. And I'm not sure if I'm going to spend much more time with it, but it is fun. It's as a free game, it's very nice. It is the kind of thing that you could easily see yourself, I think, putting money into in an arcade with a friend. I don't know.
I think
really.
that's where it probably excels. I think it is something that I think in this modern age there are so many other racing games and racing simulation games that are out there that I think this would struggle to keep my attention for long.
Yeah.
Maybe if I only had one arcade cabinet and the choice was I don't know, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and this, I think this would probably get more play.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, it's pretty playable. Did you discover over the last week or so any hidden catches or anything that that felt wasn't necessarily advertised but was a hindrance to gameplay?
Yeah, the double driver.
Yeah, we did struggle
we caught
with this.
that right at the beginning, and also apparently 50% of the time from our own statistics. Show that setting up Ubisoft accounts can be somewhat troublesome. Other than those, no. And you?
I would agree. Yeah, I never like having to set up an account. I'd rather games would just use my PlayStation Network login. I know that's not always necessarily possible. But yeah, the double driver thing was slightly confusing. I think we had to resort to Google in the end just to confirm that it is a local play only option, which is a shame because that could really have pushed this over the edge. And I think with a double drive online mode, you and I might have played this a bit more. I'm not particularly interested in the race mode as a long-term game.
No, and I think the races are a little bit too short. I think
Yes.
a lot of them, there are some that are multi-lap races in the campaign, and the campaign is interesting. And a bit cheaty as well. You can get 2 silvers and then you can upgrade that to a gold, which I think is a bit cheaty. But overall, I did enjoy a little bit of the campaign. But the problem, I think, was the fact that we got gypped on the one bit that we really wanted. That was the bit that that was the reason why we selected the game for the month. It was like, yes, it's a racing game, it's a multiplayer game, And it's got this crazy thing where two people control a car. And, if one of us turns left and one of us turns right, the vehicle keeps going straight. That's like straight out of Dave Gorman's, public bus, where all the passengers get to vote where they go. And you might be stuck on a roundabout forever. So that was the fun factor that I was looking for, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun factor, what about you? Was there any fun factor in there? I mean, I got some enjoyment about being dropped out of a helicopter, and I quite enjoyed when I fell off the track and I could drive around. And in fact, I spent quite a lot of time driving off the track while I was playing on my own.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a very light game. It's not heavy going. It's not very deep. You say dropped out of a helicopter. I mean, I don't think it would ever put you on the track. It is definitely up to you. Like, I was in the water a few times. I was bouncing off of walls. It just leaves you to it. It's basically, it tells you, what a racing game is. Just have fun, fill your boots. But I do think, and there seems, I don't know if it was just me, but there seems to be a real lack of force feedback from the controller, and I find that weirdly off-putting now. In the same way that I found force feedback off-putting itself when it was first introduced to controllers, but it's weirdly empty without it.
It was funny because the funny thing is, while we were playing, I was like, "There's something not quite right here. What is it?" Because you're doing so many other things, trying to record and watch and play and listen and concentrate. When you mentioned I was like, that's interesting. So when I picked the game up again, I was like, "There's no force feedback." Where's the force feedback? I mean, on the plus side, it does mean your controller's batteries are going to last forever.
There is that.
But yeah, and I like the fact that it takes you off the track. I can see this being a game that you could put a younger person in front of it.
Oh yeah,
and leave them alone for a couple of hours because
Absolutely.
they could just drive around and around and around. And I think if I was maybe 7, 8, 9 years old. I have no idea what the actual age limit of this game is, but I can't imagine it being, a sort of a game which, what was they say, PG-13 or above.
Well, the most swearing in this game will come from having to try and set up your Ubisoft account.
Which is already being done by Mummy or Daddy, hopefully.
But yeah, you're right. It's actually, I never thought of it in those terms. It's very good for younger players. There's no punishment. If you fall off the track, get on with it. There's like two buttons. You can accelerate or you can brake, and that's about it. And then triangle to get back on the track if you fall off. If you want to. If you want to just drive around the grass like a maniac, go on, carry on.
Or circle if you want to go back to the start, which is quite an interesting one as well.
I never tried that.
It doesn't actually reset your time, but it puts you back at the start.
Okay.
Because there was one race I was playing where triangle put me in a place where I couldn't complete the jump.
Yes, I experienced that actually. Yeah, I gave up at that point. But
took me several attempts to work out. There's not enough run up. That's fun. And then I did it again and again anyway.
Because it is fun. And yeah, I don't want to do it down. Like, driving into a wall, coming off a ramp and not quite making it is quite good fun. But it's a limited amount of fun. So it's a quick pick up and play. And as you say, very good for younger players. I mean, we've talked about arcade games and things. I mean, I'm not a huge racing game buff, but can you think of any games it's similar to?
Well, not really. I mean, the most similar game I think is NASCAR. I used to play NASCAR quite a lot back, more than 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago on the PC. I even got a steering wheel and some pedals, and that was quite good fun. I used to quite enjoy coming up behind one of the guys I used to race with and sort of slamming into the back of his vehicle and using him to slow me down and slalom and pushing him out of bounds and hearing him scream and shout. But of course, this game won't allow you to do that because you do ruin your aerodynamics of your vehicle, and you have to go into the pit lane when you do that. But it is fun hearing the other person swear. But there is no contact in the game. And Colin McRae popped into my mind. But it's like you said, it's like any driving game. I mean, I probably got, as much as I enjoyed playing this, I had fun. While I was playing it, yesterday I was kind of driving around, and I said to myself, yeah, this is fun, but, I could be getting experience points and money in a Grand Theft Auto race, and I'm not getting that. or I could be progressing down the trophy challenge of tabletop racing. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's very samey. It does have a slightly mad sort of image and graphics and designing racetracks and things like that. I mean, that's quite nice, but overall, it's just a generic racing game, I think, at the end of the day, which allows you to sandbox it as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's got that. We haven't really mentioned that because you had to play around with the track builder. How did you find that?
I kind of experimented with 2 modes. I started with the beginner's mode, which was fun, but very, very limited. 5 checkpoints and an end gate, and that's your lot. So then I moved to super advanced and started trying to build a rack to space. So I kind of tried to launch the car into space. And that's actually what kept me interested then for, I think, an hour. I was just basically trying to launch the car as far as I could off the end of a track. So I didn't really build too much of a track under advanced mode. I was basically trying to do a sort of a Virgin Galactic space shot off the end of a ramp, I guess, using those sort of those power-up pieces. So I'm not sure if I built a railgun or a coil gun. I never remember what the difference is between them, but let's just call it some kind of mass accelerating track just to accelerate me into space. And that did amuse me for quite a long probably for a man my age, probably far too long.
But that's good. I mean, that speaks quite well of it, really. It means the child in you was excited and enthused by it, and I think that's quite a nice point, really. It's part of everybody enjoys something silly, and I think it's a nice feature.
So, at the end of the day, do you think it's worth the space, time, and download that you've invested?
It's weird because I've sort of been positive about it, but for me personally, not really. I mean, I can see it's fun. I'm probably not going to keep it, and I'm glad we tried it because it's nice. It's something different, but it's just not got that longevity for me, I don't think. What about you?
That's interesting because as positive as I've been about it, like I said, I've got my 2 go-to racing games on my PlayStation 4 are tabletop racing, which I love, arena-style racing, and of course the racing challenges in Grand Theft Auto. So I've got 2 racing games already. Yeah. I mean, I think the problem is that Grand Theft Auto Online covers so many genre of game that you could throw it in there at all for everything. But it does it have its place on my dashboard? Yeah, for now. But I don't see it. I don't necessarily see it still being here in a year's time when I need space.
No, fair enough. So would you have paid for it?
Yes, but I would have been very angry when I discovered that the double driver mode is only local play, and I might have at that point taken it back. And you?
No, I don't think I would. I always seem to be the downer, don't I? But in this case, no, I wouldn't have paid for that. It's a shame, but I perhaps I'm not the audience. If I had a small child, or if I don't know, if I was a bit younger, perhaps I might have wanted it. But no, it's not for me. So, with that being said, this is 3T.
And this is MikePapaFoxtrot. And we were looking at Trackmania Turbo, that is currently freeloadable for the PlayStation Network for April of 2018.